Welcome to another episode of One for the Table. My name is Kimchi.
And I'm John Kung.
Woo!
Yay!
All right, so there are a few things that I want to talk about. But the first thing that makes me chuckle this week, the Emily Mariko drama this week.
Wait, there's Emily Mariko drama?
I mean, it's not like major drama. It's like lukewarm, like slow day, like drama.
I want to hear it.
It's still like kind of funny. Like not at least for her, I'm sure it's not. But.
She's the salmon rice girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't know who Emily Miracle is, she's a creator on TikTok. She's like harmless. You know, she makes her content and she just like minds her own business. But, you know, people just like love to like find reasons to like, you know, tear people down, you know?
All she did was reheat some salmon and smush it into some rice with some mayo and sauce and stuff. Like,
but then,
it was
that
totally
went viral. And then people are acting like no one knew how to like microwave a rice before. Which is like wild. Because like us Asians, you know, when we like you microwave, you sprinkle a little water on and, you know, like.
Yeah.
Like we know how
put
to
a
like
wet paper towel over it. Yeah.
But TikTok were acting like she invented how to like reheat rice like in the microwave, which is like so funny to me.
Yeah.
And also very happy for her, you know, to capitalize on that, you know. But anyways, so she makes like food and then, you know, she just posts it. Like doesn't ever like interact with people. And she doesn't like speak in any of her videos. It's almost kind of like ASMR about just her making like food for her and her husband or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes like most of the time like her recipe looks good, but occasionally like they don't always turn out like the pumpkin pie. And then the entire TikTok goes crazy over like how, and there's like whole like dissertations and series about like how she failed this pumpkin pie on purpose, you know, like to gain traction, and she's actually like a calculated woman, and and all she did was just like bake a pumpkin pie that was like slightly runny.
Yeah, it's funny because like people can't just accept that people are just like existing online,
and sometimes
it has to be like. Oh, it's like they have to like,
you know, like
justify.
Some of our recipes fail and some turn out great, you know?
As professional cooks, some of our recipes fail. Like, it doesn't always work out. And that's just the fact of life.
Like she's like this like mastermind on like gaining Instagram followers, and like every move she does is cold and calculated. And that's why like she never like interacts with anyone online. It's like, bitch, like with the way y'all acting and trying to take her down every chance you get. I wouldn't interact
with anyone either if like that's what I had to deal with. Like people are just... I don't know. Like, first of all, a woman can't just be successful being a woman anywhere, let alone especially on the internet. So it's like, you know, I don't blame her for not interacting with folks.
Yeah. It's just like hard being a woman. So like, there's one food content creator I saw. So she's like a lot of different variety of food, but like one of the things she likes is she likes raw onions, and she just like eats them whole after peeling them. Which, you know, like as Korean, like we eat raw onions, you know, like too. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe I wouldn't eat it like it's an apple, but like to each their own, you do you.
Right.
So, but whenever she eats an onion like this, the comments are like, oh, I just know her coochie stank. Or,
oh my God.
Like, I just know she's funky. You know, like.
I think that, now that I think about it, I think the issue with like, Emily Mariko is like, I've seen her content before. I've seen her food before. It's totally like, just like, oh, this is what I have in my house. Like, she's not a professional chef. She's just literally a person who's existing and is like filming it. And I think it makes people so mad to see average people. Like, she's pretty. She's very, very cute. But like, she's not doing anything like super extraordinary, which makes her super relatable. So that's the gift.
Well, I never actually got to the drama part.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay,
what's the drama?
So then just this week, she finally decided to release merchandise. Okay. And they're called Farmer's Market Tote. And they're very basic looking tote. It's like a tote that you see. If you see it, you've seen this tote before.
Okay, it's like a canvas tote.
Yeah, And then she is finally talking in her video content, saying like, "Hey guys, so I'm finally releasing these like farmers like market totes. Blah 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 blah. Like, come get it while you can." And it comes like nicely packaged in like a box, almost like luxury item.
Yeah.
And then like inside it has like her name in it. That says Emily Mariko. But she's charging $120 for these totes.
Okay.
And the entire TikTok just like flipped out.
Are you serious?
They're like, they mentioned nothing about her, like these like materials being like sustainable or it's like higher quality materials. Like they're just totes. Like LL Bean has like a tote for like $10 that looks exactly like this, but it's just like a better quality. Or like William Sonoma has like a farmer's market tote, that's like multifunctional and blah blah blah. And then somehow like every video that I was like scrolling through was just people talking about these farmers market totes. And it sold out. I mean, granted, I don't know like how much she put up for sale. I don't know if it's like a sales like tactic where she put up 2 and then like, oh look, it's sold out. They're high in demand.
Right.
Or if she put out a lot and they actually all sold out because she has like millions of followers. But it's just everyone just being mad about the price of these like tote bags.
Again, like people can't exist on the internet without somebody having something to say. And you know what? Good for her for like farming this outrage and letting that like fuel the story because quite frankly, like if only happy news ever came out about the tote, less people would know about it and less people would buy it. So, the haters are the ones that actually propel your content. Very few supporters will. So, again, she's just like literally a person doing average shit on the internet and she should be allowed to.
And the funny thing is like, she's telling people about this, but she's not forcing anyone to buy these totes.
No.
Like granted, like I think like these totes are worth $120? No, but also
no.
I don't carry totes.
I love a tote. I love a free tote.
I mean, I love free totes too, but like even then, I just have so many tote bags that like do not need another one, let alone paying for another one.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I love the IKEA tote bag.
Oh, those are great.
Oh my God.
You can throw so much in them.
Yes, the original Balenciaga meme. Oh, those. I've got so many. You can buy like 3 for $5 or something like that.
You know what's even better? They were a seasonal item, but Trader Joe's had a tote mystery bag, 99 cents. And inside of it, you get 3 tote bags. And each of them are a different design, and there's one design for every state in the U.S.
Oh, man.
And the design is actually really cute. I only found out about it because, like, this, like, Korean mom living in America, like, community. I just, like, followed this message board because they share, like, deals and, like, hot things. And they all became, like, obsessed with it. But like for 99 cents where you get 3 of them, the quality is actually really good. So I keep them in my car. So every time I go to Trader Joe's, I just like use these like bags to get my groceries.
Keeping tote bags in your car is so convenient. Speaking of like collecting every state thing, I used to try to like, do you remember when we had like state quarters?
Yes, I used to have a board where you like boop, 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 plop them in.
I had like a little box that I've had for like over 10 years or something. And I used to collect, I didn't really collect them, but I was like, oh, I would just put this off to the side and see. And like Little John recently was like cleaning out my stuff and saw this like little box of quarters and he bought me like a little case to put them all in. Apparently I only need like 5. And like this wasn't something that I was like outwardly looking for, but or like I was just like putting it aside. And so like I didn't realize like how close I was to like actually finishing the thing.
Oh my God, you have most of it.
So like yeah, I'm missing Mississippi, Illinois, Alabama, Maine, and then Philadelphia and Denver. Is that me or are you having a phone call? Oh, I'm also missing Nebraska. Oh, damn, there's another page. Okay, I'm missing more than that then.
Oh, how many are you missing?
Let's see. 1, 2. Why does Denver and Philadelphia get their own coin? Anyways, I'm missing Denver and Philadelphia, Mississippi, Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Texas, Nebraska, Montana, Wyoming, DC, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and Northern Mariana Islands. So I have most of the states. I have all the states except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, 7 states, and like 4 of the territories. And for some reason, Denver and Philadelphia. So like, no, I got like a lot of them though. Like,
oh my God. It must be so nice having a considerate partner who just gets you these kind of things.
Yeah, I know. Well, he got me the little folder for it, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, I remember you did this." And here,
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Now he's out of town right now. He's in Virginia with his mom, so I've got the house to myself.
Feel lonely?
No, the dogs have been taking up all of my time.
Yeah. For lonely people, dog honestly is the best cure.
Dogs are really the best.
There's really no time to be lonely with a loving dog.
There really isn't. And also they get in trouble, so. Isn't that right, Boba?
Okay, so anyways, back to the Emily Mariko. If you don't want to buy the tote, mind your own damn business, is what I think. And if you want to buy it, good for you. Like, you use that tote till it falls apart.
Yeah.
Or maybe it won't fall apart and you'll have it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. For $120.
Like, why it has to be such an issue that someone puts out anything that they're not forcing you to buy.
Yeah. I mean, I just think people like to hate on her again because she's doing just like
people
she's
love
doing
to
average
tear
stuff.
Successful people down.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think it makes I think it makes people more mad because like everything she does is like so accessible to the point where it's like people like will probably think like, oh, there's nothing special about her. Well, first of all, she's doing all of this stuff and making people think that they can do it, so they do it, and that's why she's so popular. But I think that kind of content, that kind of relatable, accessible content make people so mad because they're just mad they, A, are not charismatic to do the exact same thing and pull it off, or just B, didn't think about it first. So like people like that just get more haters.
Like, I'm sure there's like a lot of them saying like, why wasn't it me that became like famous?
Right. Which is why like most people who don't just like to hate on popular people, it's just like, a lot of them are just jealous that it's not them.
Do you remember that one time when I just made like a random stupid video about like coming back to the knife? And it was just like an overused joke, and then I just used it like a trending sound.
Oh, that's right. And somebody accused you of stealing that joke.
And it was just like such like a generic joke. Where just like
it was such...
like me to my knife. Like, I'm coming back for you. Like I'm coming back later. And it was just like, it's such like a generic joke. And you know, so then I just like posted it, and then like it wasn't like viral, but like it got like a good amount of views.
Right.
And then like this like random girl that I've never seen like made a TikTok about like how like I stole from her, and I like stole her, like I'm stealing from like small content creators, like about her joke.
It's like, girl, you can't take credit for a joke that's been around since the Twitter days.
Literally, like, and I went and like looked at her video, and like granted her video had like no views. So what makes you think that I somehow like searched this, found hers, and I thought to myself, oh, this is the one. This is what I'm stealing.
Well, you know, some people are just easy to hate on the internet.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, you make it very easy, Kim, apparently.
And I could say the same thing about you.
Can we?
Yeah. But I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to hurt feelings.
What?
I'm just kidding. You're fine.
I was like, between the two of us?
I just like watching your reaction when you think people hate you.
I don't like
you can't handle it.
No. I really don't like it when people don't like me. I'm starting to get better about it because there are like, you just have to accept the fact that like there are some people that just do not like you at all.
Honestly, there's like no rhyme or reason to like why people won't like you.
Yeah.
Like some people just say like, "Oh, I don't like this person,"
right?
And just not.
And
like
actually, you know what? It wouldn't be so bad that like I people are allowed to like just not like things. And that is actually okay. If people are like, oh, I don't like his content, I think his voice is annoying or whatever, that's fine. But like, I think these days people need to justify not liking somebody morally. And like, you can't just be like, oh, that's not for me, or I don't like this artist, I don't like this music. Like, they have to come up with like a greater moralistic reason to justify like their distaste for something, because like, you know, if they're going against like a popular thing, they don't want to look stupid. So they're like, oh, I don't like this person because they're like, so, like I heard they were problematic, or they start like making shit up, or they start like digging like really deep down into like a one thing that that person had like hinted to maybe, or said, or retweeted or whatnot. And then they're like, oh no, that's why I don't like them. I was like, girl, you can just not like someone and like let that be.
You don't have to like, you know, like make this person something that they're not, and we should do it. Just say, I don't like this person. Not for me.
Yeah.
Just be honest. You know, like, let's be real. If you hate someone, and it's okay, because I mean, there are some people who are just like, I just don't vibe with this person. I don't know why. Yeah. They've done nothing wrong. I just don't vibe with them. And that's perfectly okay.
But like, and it's not a poor reflection on somebody. It's not a poor reflection on you if you just don't like something. It is a bad reflection of you if you have to like reach so hard to justify and like try to get other people to agree with you.
Absolutely. But speaking of on the opposite of not liking something, you know what I actually love doing today?
What did you love doing today?
So I had just like a huge bag of like peeled garlic. And I'm like, I better use these up, because I feel like the moment you see like a white mold on the bottom of a garlic in like the pile,
and like it's almost like, over for you.
It's game over. And it's already been in the refrigerator for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, all right, like I have to use these
do or die. Yeah.
So then,
what did you do?
I started to make garlic confit. So I just like threw them all in like my like mini Dutch oven, filled it with olive oil, threw in some like thyme, rosemary, sea salt, and then just like on low heat, like covered, just like simmering like for like an hour. And afterwards, I was like, all right, let's taste this. I toasted some sourdough bread, and then I took that browned, bubbling garlic confit, and I spread it across that toast. And then after it's been perfectly smeared, I took some flaky sea salt, and I just give it a little light twinkle on top of the garlic confit mixture. And I bit into it, and first I got that crunch and the sour flavor from the toast, followed by the mellow sweetness and the roasted garlic aroma. And it was like so good, and I was like shook, shaken, and stirred by how good it was. So then I had to make another toast with more garlic confit, and this time I loaded up on the garlic confit because it's almost sweet and not like spicy or anything at all. And I put even more like little flaky sea salt, and I ate it down, and it was so good. But then I was like, I have this hot honey sitting in my like countertop. Like, do I deserve to eat another toast? I mean, I want it. So then I toasted another bread, and then I put even more garlic confit on top, and sea salt, and then I drizzled with the hot honey, and it was so good, so fucking good. And then I realized
hot honey is so popular right now.
It is. I mean, I'm sure you can make like a fabulous version of your own.
Yeah, I have a recipe of it in my book. I've been using hot honey over years.
They're never like hot enough until I came across this one brand that makes hot honey with bird's eye chili, like Thai style.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
And it says as spicy as you want it, and it says sweet as you want it. It is delicious. But anyways.
Wait, sorry. No, I don't have a hot honey recipe in my book. I have a Szechuan chili maple syrup in my book. Close enough.
But anyways, and then I realized I've eaten most of this garlic confit.
Wait, that was like
it was almost like a pound of garlic. Oh, and then you know what I did after?
What?
The leftover garlic confit?
What?
I took hummus.
Oh.
And then I drizzled rest of the garlic confit on top of the hummus. And then I took out some carrot sticks. And then I dumped those carrot sticks in that hummus topped with garlic confit. And that is how I ate a pound of garlic unintentionally for breakfast this morning. And I feel like my fart tonight is going to be so ripe.
Oh my God.
So dank.
Oh, we're going to have to do a wellness check for butter in the morning. Oh, that poor little dog.
But I know I'm not catching a cold no matter what today.
Yeah.
But if you ever have any doubts about life, like make garlic confit because, oh my God, it was so good.
I confit garlic in chili oil a while ago, and it was really good.
In chili oil? I'll tell you about
I made chili. What? Oh, yeah, so I had some chili oil that I had made, but it was the same situation. I bought like a thing of like a clear clamshell of peeled garlic, and it was also on its way of going bad. And I was like, I've got chili oil, and I've done this once before, but let's try it and just like do it 2 hours in a low oven and just like see. And then I did the exact same thing where it was like I spread it on toast, except there was that chili crisp on it. And like it was red and bright, and it was like had that little bit of the tingle, and it was spicy. It's so good. And we still have some. We actually like to, because it turned it into garlic chili oil. So we'll just like literally heat up a thing of noodles and like take a scoop full of the oil. Sometimes some of the garlic will come out, and we just stir it in and mix it in. It's so good. Or even just like throw it in rice with an egg.
So I have some really good Taleggio cheese in my refrigerator.
Ooh, yeah.
I was thinking maybe I'll caramelize some onion and like take garlic confit and the Taleggio.
You can put some of that hot honey on that too.
And make like a little grilled cheese moment.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh. Wouldn't that be good?
Oh, I'm glad. I like how we're like actually talking about food on this episode.
I mean, don't we always talk about food?
But like
food
we're
adjacent
really
things.
About food. Yeah. This is nice.
But have you ever had Taleggio?
Taleggio is like, oddly enough, Taleggio was like one of a cheese that Little John and I discovered on one of our like first dates.
Oh.
Yeah. So Taleggio was like, oh, it's our cheese.
Oh. My favorite cheese are Grayson and Taleggio, and they're both like soft, creamy, brie, kind of like a cheese, but they're like super pungent. And something about Taleggio, when it gets melty, the flavor profile completely changes.
Yeah.
It's almost like nutty, briny, and it's just
sometimes
so
Taleggio
well
can get a little too ripe if you buy it, where it's kind of like hurts. And like that's beyond, but that's when it's like that. It's really good with like apples and pears. One of my favorite cheeses is called Humboldt Fog.
Oh, I love Humboldt Fog.
It's so good. It's like a triple cream brie with like just one stripe of blue right in the middle. Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God, yeah. Humboldt Fog also tastes really good with like sweeter things like caramelized onions.
Yes. Oh, oof. Yum, yum.
Although I wish there was like a way to bake like caramelized onion without having to like stir it just constantly. I feel like whenever I make caramelized
Thermomix.
Well, must be nice to be a professional chef with your professional ingredients.
I should just make caramelized onions in my Thermomix because I literally have a pot that self-heats and stirs itself.
Well, you should. Whenever I make Japanese curry now, like instead of just slightly sauteing the onion, I like to completely caramelize my onions and then make Japanese curry, and it gives like such like a deeper, sweeter flavor.
Yeah,
And
I'm always trying to like do stuff to my Japanese curry because like I have like gotten to the point where it's like I like it a lot, but it's never enough on its own. It needs something. Like it's not spicy enough. I always end up putting extra spices in it, or even like tonkatsu sauce or something like that. Like, it's never really enough that you can have on its own. Otherwise, I'll just make like an Indian or a Thai curry instead, because those can hold their own.
The only thing I have to be careful about, like adding spices to like the Japanese curry, is if like you add too much, you get like the spice cuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where like...
Oh, it's a little scratchy?
Yeah, scratchy, and then like when you cook, you can feel like all the spices like come up. And it's not really like a pleasant feeling. But my thing that I've been loving doing with Japanese curry is tomato paste.
Nice. Yeah.
The tomato paste, I put like a generous like tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. Like when I'm like sauteing like the onions.
Yeah.
And then it gives it like
if you did like a curry onion grilled cheese.
But have you ever made a tomato paste before?
Japanese curry?
Yeah.
No.
You should try it. It's really good. It makes it like tangy, robust, zesty.
Anything like Japanese, any kind of Japanese food, I think like it takes to tomatoes so well. Just Japanese cuisine surprisingly takes to tomatoes, and it takes to cheese just so well.
Or maybe it's because we just love tomatoes so much that like
maybe.
Because I mean,
you know what's weird? Like I've discovered, because like my tomato sandwich videos, like they continue to go like viral. Like I think since Christmas, like my laksa tomato sandwich video got like 2 million views on YouTube, and I haven't done a single thing. And I have like learned, because anytime you go viral, you come across like bad comments too. There are some people that really hate tomatoes.
Oh, people fucking hate tomatoes.
Like they really hate tomatoes. And I am convinced it's only because they haven't had a good one.
No, but they all say the same thing. Like, the texture is like squishy, and
that's why you eat it with bread. Nobody's eating a tomato like an apple. Well, I could, but like nobody's eating a tomato like an apple. Well, yeah, but again, I can't. But like
Americans are very like sensitive to texture,
but not like in a good way, right? It's like
I don't think not in a good way, because sometimes like we also appreciate mush. Not I'm saying we as in like Eastern Asians.
Yeah.
Like enjoying mushy soft things is part of like the flavor profile we enjoy.
Yeah.
While mushy soft things in American culture, or like slimy things,
it makes them think of like rotten food, I think. Or like bad
How
food.
often are people eating rotten food even like associated with that?
I don't know. Things like, trauma gets passed down. But like, I mean,
like if there's like
East
not a
Asians,
crunchy aspect, like average American can handle it.
Yeah, they need structure. They need structure.
Like I remember when I was making like kimchi jjigae, and when you make kimchi jjigae like Korean style, the pork is soft. Like pork is like boiled, and a lot of Koreans enjoy like the flavor of like the soft pork. I made it for my friends in Chicago once, and they all complained about like how all this pork like needed to be crispy, and I'm like, no, like that's you're I guess you're looking at this dish from like your perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm serving it in the way that I grew up eating, which is like a soft pork.
But I think because East Asians also have embedded in our own appreciation for food, like we it's not like we prefer one texture over another, but like we all have this appreciation for a variety of textures. Like we like crunchy things too. We but we also like mushy things. We like bouncy things. We like rubbery things. Like I mean, like I'm using an example for Chinese people. It's like we eat jellyfish, which honestly doesn't really taste like anything on its own. We eat it just for the texture and how good it goes with vinegar. And it's such a weird texture, because it's like I describe it as like a bounce crunch. Like it's gummy, but it's snappy, like it's a bouncy, crunchy feeling. And then even like in Japanese people, like I think they have like specific words to describe textures. One phrase is called puri puri, and it describes that feeling of snapping into fresh shrimp or a plump hot dog. I know exactly what that feeling is like. That is so great. Oh, that is so satisfying.
In Korea, like the sound of like biting into like a hot dog that's like snappy. We say bodeduk.
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 I'm sure Chinese people have one, but I don't know. I only know like toibokbok, which means crunchy.
And things that are like crispy, we say pasak pasak.
Pasak pasak. Crunchy?
Pasak.
Oh,
like not super
in
crunchy,
Cantonese,
but like,
it's toibokbok. That just might be something I used to say as a child. I don't know if it's an actual thing, but yeah, that's interesting.
Pasak pasak. Or agajak.
Oh, this one's an interesting one for Japanese. Hoku hoku. You know when a soft morsel of hot baked potato crumbles on your tongue and your mouth fills with starchy steaminess.
Oh.
I like that
Hoku
one.
does sound like
hoku.
Like what it's describing.
But also like that's also the sound that you make when you eat a piece of a potato that's too hot and you're trying to like So yeah, I mean, I guess back to the point, like our appreciation for like not just how something tastes, but how something feels. Like, yeah, that's just like our shared cultural appreciation.
Also, I don't know if this is your experience, but do you have like a lot of like American friends that like?
No.
Do you have a lot of American friends who use not liking food as like a personality trait?
No.
Okay, maybe I just need better friends.
I honestly like do. There is nobody that I can think of that has that as has that as like a personality trait that is close enough to me that I could think of that I would call them a friend.
Like I
dated one person that was like that, and it was like one of the worst relationships I ever had in my life. It actually I think it's reflective on a person's character negatively.
like I have a friend that I like love dearly. I'm not going to say who this person's name is because I'm not trying to start no drama. But like, let's say like we're like all eating like a random thing, you know, and we're like all enjoying it, and everyone's like, oh, like I really like this. I love green onions. And this person would just randomly be like, oh, actually, I don't like green onions. I'm weird. But like, it's not like a one-off thing. It constantly happens. And I'm like, are you trying to make yourself like so quirky that you're just like, you just decide to like randomly not like things that other people are enjoying? Like what is going on?
It is a red flag when they think that something that, not just food, anything in general. When something you do not like is something that you make a core pillar of your personality, it's just not a good look. I mean, like I said, you are allowed to not like things, but like if you try to make one of the most interesting thing about you something that you don't like, it's a red flag.
Absolutely,
it is a red flag.
And I want to tell this to the person, but I don't know like how to like have this talk with them without offending them.
Yeah, I would so much rather know somebody who is so obsessively in love with something to the point where it's kind of annoying. Yeah, because like I can appreciate passion. I think of like I had seen videos of her like a decade ago, but she's recently popped up on my TikTok again. The Green Lady in New York.
Oh my God, I love the Green Lady in New York.
She's so cute. And like everything in her house, every bit of clothing, every accessory, green. Everything is green. And she is adorable. Would it be like possibly a little bit painful to probably be like really good friends with her sometimes? Maybe like on occasion.
No, but
if you're like
that's how like
I would still be a friend of that person as opposed to somebody who just like makes the opposite or a complete hatred of something as core tenet of their personality.
I feel like that's kind of also like being part of like being gay is you get used to people with having niche likes and just going very deep into this like niche things. You know, like for example, like ask like a millennial gay about Hillary Duff. And like they'll give you a dissertation. Like they'll like go in hours about like how Raise Your Voice has changed your life, and like Lizzie McGuire like needed a second movie, and they'll just go on for hours of just like random specific things.
Cute. Because it's
it is cute. I'm saying I like it, but also like we as gay people just get used to that.
It's true. It's true. Like, I think it's cute. I think it's quirky. But again, it's like at the end of the day, it's a positive thing. Yeah, it's an appreciation of something that brings someone joy, as opposed to like centering around something that is based on disgust, which again, not fun to be around.
For sure.
I can appreciate if somebody has like issues with food and are like actively working around to like work on that. I can appreciate somebody who's doing the work. That being said, like, if they're a fun person to hang out around, I'll go and do other things, but I just won't. I won't take time to. I won't like consider a meal as something that I would ever do with a person like that.
Oh, for sure. Okay, also, so yesterday, and this is like speaking of like liking like niche, like random things. I was at a dinner yesterday, and I was seated at a table with like random people, and we were talking, and we hit it off. The conversation was great. And that time, we were talking. This girl was talking about how like when she goes to WeHo, it's so hard for her to tell like which men are gay and which men are straight. I mean, chances are they're mostly going to be gay. Yeah. But like when she goes to like a straight bar or something in WeHo, like how can she tell like if they're like gay or straight? And the first thing I could have like that came to my mind to tell her was if you want to find out whether a guy is gay or straight, ask them how they feel about Ariana Grande. Because whether they're a gay man who loves or hates Ariana Grande, their reaction is going to be like visceral. While straight men is going to give you but straight men are going to be like, oh, Ariana, she's all right. Yeah. But gay men are going to be like, oh, Ariana, like love her, or be like, oh, fuck her. Like for gay men, there's no like in between about Ariana Grande. They all have opinions, whether like positive. But even if they like feel indifferent about Ariana Grande, they'll let you know that they feel indifferent about Ariana Grande.
It's true. It's true. Whereas like a lot of straight men might know like a song or two. Yeah.
And they're like,
whereas most straight, you can just ask them if they know what she's doing right now. Because I guarantee you, at least like whatever you feel about Ariana Grande, she's in the Wicked remake. Whereas straight men would be like, she's acting. Isn't she a singer?
Unless they're one of those like fucking hipster gays. They're like, I do not like pop culture. I watch vintage movies, like those gays.
Yeah, but she's not in Brooklyn, as WeHo.
But then also those gays, I guess those gays would tell you that
or Silver Lake.
Yeah. But then I guess those gays will tell you that like they don't care about pop culture. Yeah. Either way. Yeah. If you want to find out if the man is gay or not, just ask him about Ariana Grande. And it doesn't matter what he says, just look for his reaction. If he has a great reaction, he is a gay.
And I mean, like, if you're scoping out an elder millennial, I think, what is like the elder millennial version of that? Mariah Carey? Isn't Mariah Carey?
Yeah, but I feel like Mariah Carey is just like universally liked and appreciated. Or even hated.
Is she?
Like, Mariah Carey doesn't cause like a visceral reaction in people.
I think
the way Ariana Grande
used to. I think she used to. And then like after Emancipation of Mimi era, I think we all just like realized that she was amazingly out of touch, chill, and rich, and that's fine, and she's allowed to be because she put in the work. But like I was looking over like some old pop and R&B music videos, and I came across like the duet performance of her and Whitney Houston doing When You Believe from the Prince of Egypt soundtrack, and I was like, oh shit, that was a cultural reset.
Oh, yes, it was.
The way that like I was too young to understand how important that duet was, that like people older than me lost their fucking minds over that. And I was just like, yeah, it's a great song.
Absolutely.
Oh, while we're talking about that, have you been following Megan Thee Stallion versus
the Nicki Minaj drama?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, first of all...
The song is so...
Okay, first of all...
I don't want the barbs to go bad.
Megan wasn't even thinking about Nicki in particular.
I know!
Like, the song was not even about Nicki, but Nicki somehow managed to make it all about herself. And I like how basically that song is like, yo, you got shot in the foot.
Yes!
And you lied about your mama. Oh, and we're gonna get you.
I mean, it's and like it's so interesting to see like my friends who were hardcore barbs. Even them, they're like, oh, this is not.
It's like we can get behind this now
at all, right? And so it's like coming to the point where it's like, okay, well, we're starting to see like the breakdown of the potential breakdown of like at one point in night like untouchable artist self-destructing.
But also like, and I'm sure there's like a lot of like mental health issues like going on with that. But I mean, like Nicki Minaj was on her way to being like a legend in her own right.
Oh, I know.
You know?
I know.
Like this whole thing, she just didn't have to say anything and just like went on with her business.
She did not.
And you know, like I feel like maybe like in 10, 20 years, like people like regard her as like the same level as maybe like Mariah Carey, like Celine Dion, like Adele, you know? Like legends of legends.
Yeah.
But instead...
But not if you do this.
Not if you do this. It just makes you look...
Right.
A diva wouldn't do this. A true diva.
Exactly. And like, well, I mean, like Aretha, Patti LaBelle. But those were like diva versus diva battles. But like they were reducing yourself or coming down from your platform when you're like up so high already. It's just, again, it's not a good... I mean, like, it's how you stop yourself from being a legend. I missed that YouTube series.
What YouTube series?
Do you remember, like, the Divas YouTube series where the guys would do, like, interviews and voiceovers?
No, I don't think so.
Voiceover interviews and have... hold on. What is it called? Oh, Got to Be Real.
I don't think
You've never seen this? Oh my God. Okay. So Got to Be Real is this person who takes like interviews and concerts and all sorts of videos featuring like all like Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Janet Jackson, like all of the divas, as if it was like a reality show, housewife style. And he would just like do the voices over them, and they would just like be so shady and so messy to each other. And it's like obviously just really low product, but the low production it's campy. I think you would love this. This series is like legendary.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. Send me the link.
I'll check it out.
And I think like a lot of the jokes and a lot of the humor would be lost to I think people who are like Gen Z, because they are talking about like older divas.
Older.
I mean like Aretha Pathley. Yeah.
Legendary.
Let's
say legendary, not older. Let's take a quick break, and then when we get back from break, we actually have a lot of listener questions. Yay!
We'll be right back.
And we are back.
Hi.
Y'all have submitted a lot of listener questions.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, love your podcast. I'm a college student trying to figure out how to eat better. So I was wondering if either of you have any recommendations for beginner spices or seasonings. Currently, I just douse all my food in sesame oil, which I imagine isn't the optimal seasoning strategy. Note, I tend to like savory, salty flavors when seasoning, but I'm not opposed to trying new things. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you like savory, salty stuff, you should like look up seasoning mixes and spice blends. So Indian is always a great way to go. Like you can go like different kinds of curry powders. And even though it's like not really a savory blend, I think it makes savory foods taste better. But like garam masala and tandoori masalas are really, really nice.
And keep in mind, he's a college student, so I'm assuming he's on a college student budget.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt he has like that much room for like experimenting, you know? So then, like, would you give him like specific examples of like what to mix with what?
I guess you're not doing a lot of like cooking. You're just like kind of like adding stuff to food that you already have, huh? And if you're using a lot of sesame oil, see, the thing is like if they said they were trying to eat healthier, and so I think like cutting down on like oil, or at least like giving them like less oily options. So that's why I went to like seasonings and spice mixes, but you could also do stuff like, you could also do like wet sauces like salsas. Salsas are extremely healthy and good for you and savory because it's just vegetables.
I personally think for me, one of the easiest way to give the dish so much flavor, but without like the calories, and relatively cheap, is lemon juice.
Yeah.
Like lemon juice is like so versatile where if you're cooking pasta, you can just like squeeze lemon juice into the butter and just like mix it with pasta. If you're cooking like salmon, just like squeeze lemon juice. Or just bake it with like, salt and pepper and just like squeeze lemon juice on top. It just like brightens it up.
You do love your tart and sour.
I do.
You could do the same thing with kimchi.
Yeah.
Also wouldn't have that many like calories and stuff like that. I said this in the last podcast, but I use kimchi as a salad dressing. Oftentimes.
Yeah. Because it's vinegary and tart.
Vinegary and tart, and you can just like mix it in the bowl directly into the bowl. Yeah,
it is higher in sodium, so don't eat too much of it if you're like trying to eat healthy.
But I think
or if you're like watching your sodium intake.
Salsa also can like it hits the same way, and it's also just mostly vegetables. Like a lot of people use it as a dip. But like using it as a sauce is kind of like the way that it was intended to be used. So whether it be like a more smooth salsa or like a pico de gallo, you just add that to whatever. I put it on like when I was a starving college student, salsa and rice was one of my rotations.
Oh, salsa, damn.
Yeah, it was yeah. I had a cheap source of salsa, so I was putting that stuff on everything.
Where was this like cheap source of salsa coming from?
Cafeteria.
So you like steal like, but then you're
literally
already, like, eating a cafeteria,
huh?
But you're already like eating.
No,
food
because
from
it was like you have to pay every time you go in.
Oh,
but like if I was making like rice at home, I would just have some.
All right. Oh, let's not speak about when I was in college because it's depressing. But I did go down to Jimmy John's every day because they sell day-old bread for 50 cents and you can get like a whole loaf of bread.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
And that loaf of bread would be my meal for the day. Not healthy, but you do what you can. Oh, another thing to have in your pantry if you like if you're like beginner spices or seasoning is the John Kong spice blend available now on Burlap and Barrel. Wing.
Thanks. It is available. Well, the salt, they ran out of the salt, but the other two are still there.
Minus the salt. You can get the other the master stock. which is good sprinkled on anything.
And then the smoldering embers, which is good for vegetables and grilled meat. But let's move on to the next.
You don't want to talk about your products. I get it. Okay.
Comment.
Because you don't believe in them.
No,
you're just another influencer
they're
who
really,
lied.
No, they're really good. And I like them a lot. But
and you
have a lot of questions to go through.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. I use them all the time in my videos.
All right. So
next question. I would love to hear each of your perspectives on the film, The Menu. I think we did an episode on The Menu.
I did. We did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you have missed that episode, loved it. All right.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Here are my questions. What are your top 3 pastries?
Ooh.
I'll give you my top 3 first. So, if you know me, you know, like I love pastries, whether it's like experimental, new age, or classic. But my top go-to is always going to be the classics. And my number 1 pastry is a fresh baked sourdough.
That's a bread.
Bread is, you don't consider bread a pastry?
No.
Okay, fine. All right, my number 1
to be their own.
Their own?
Yeah.
Then what do you define as a pastry?
Like a desserty, like cakes and confectionery. Well, no, confectionery is like candy, but like anything that you'd see. I wouldn't go into like a patisserie or pastry shop thinking that they would sell bread. I would think no. I think they would. If they had bread, I'd be like, yeah, but I wouldn't go to a pastry shop for the bread. I'd go to like a bread shop or a baker.
Okay, so the definition of pastry is baked food made from dough of flour, water, and shortening that may be savory or sweetened. But since you have a narrow view of pastries, we'll go with your narrow view, and I'll pick something that's considered like a treat or sweet. And
it can be savory
no. This is your podcast too. I guess we'll follow your rules. And I guess my number 1 would be a butter croissant. But one of my pastry chef friends told me, don't trust croissants that are too big because they've been over what do you call it? Like over
leavened or overproofed?
Overproofed. Because a lot of bakers do that because like the croissants appear bigger. But it's like the smaller, medium-sized croissants is where it actually tastes the best. You get the perfect ratio to like butter to like crunch and flake. And that's always like stayed in my head. And actually, I kind of do agree because when you do bite into those like jumbo croissants,
it's just air.
It's just air.
It's just a bubble.
While if you get like a medium-sized croissant, you get like the perfect flaky layers, and you could actually like feel the butter, like the buttery air wafting through the layers.
Yes. Croissant's a good one.
Yeah, it's like a medium-sized butter croissant.
Nice.
And then my other top 2 would be a Basque cheesecake.
Nice.
Like, there's something about Basque cheese. I know it's like really easy to make, but it's so like caramely and creamy and yum. And then my third one, it's gonna sound so boring and so weird, but chocolate chip cookie with sea salt. They're all very classic.
I mean,
but
yeah, like you. I think your first 2 were interesting, like enough that it's like you can have.
The thing is, like, you could try any other cookie in the world, but no cookie will hit you the way a really good chocolate chip cookie with sea salt will hit. And it's not me being boring or being basic. You just like
something that you're just always in the mood for.
Yeah.
It's like the one. It's a not basic. It's a greatest hit.
Yes, it is the greatest love. It is like the all I want for Christmas is you all year round.
See, like for me, the thing that hits like Whereas like a lot of people love like the sea salt chocolate, that flavor combination. For me, it's like it's salted caramel. Like I love or salted caramel, salted maple. Salted maple's good too.
Also, tres leches. Not a cookie, but tres leches. Also delicious.
Delicious.
Like a really good tres leches. Oh, baby.
Yes. Oh, just like a sopping, wet
tres leches.
Spongy. Oh,
with like a really good milk frosting.
Yeah, and like when you bite into it, it just like literally explodes.
With just
it's like if soup dumpling with cake. Just
that's exactly what tres leches.
Good.
Now
I'm gonna have to make that
leches.
One of my favorites.
You know what would be really good? Tres leches soaked with milk tea.
Oh my God. How is that not even a thing?
Why is that not a thing? That needs to be a thing.
All right. I know somebody out there hears this.
Like a really good milk tea.
Yes.
With maybe like what kind of cake though?
Neither Kim and I are bakers. Somebody needs to do this.
I mean, like
in that kitchen?
Yes. I made focaccias. I made sourdough.
Can you make a cake in that kitchen, though?
Yes, I can.
You look so mad.
You're fucking like condescending. Just because you have a big fucking kitchen.
Gotta take the pans out of the oven.
In that kitchen? Wow. Wow, just because it's not like a fucking like chef-sized kitchen. Not in that kitchen. Fucking prick.
I mean, the last time I made you food in that the last time I cooked for you in that kitchen, like I broke your sink and your sink and your dishwasher.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you're making videos about like, don't wash your dishes before you put in the dishwasher. And meanwhile, fully clogging up my dishwasher.
That is under the assumption that like, and it wasn't your dishwasher that was broken. It was the pipe that the dishwasher goes through. That was all clogged. So your dishwasher was fine. It's just that
must be nice to come from privilege where you can just expect everyone else to have a nice
things that work. A landlord that fixes your stuff. Yes, that's true. That's true.
My landlord actually does fix stuff.
Okay.
Except for heat and air conditioning, and the refrigerator light, and anyway,
the stuff that I don't know how to fix. Anyways, if you are in the LA area and you can make us this milk tea tres leches cake, please let us know, and we will come over and we will try it.
Yeah, John will fly in from Detroit just for this.
I will do it. I will. So my top 3. Okay. Portuguese egg tart. It's like the Hong Kong style egg tart, but they like have the toasted top.
Pastel de nata.
And with the flaky crust. Yes.
And then they sprinkle it with cinnamon.
Be one of them. Yes. Yeah. So good. I also really love a good honey cake. Medovic. Okay, so it is basically layers of cake, and in between them is like this whipped honey cream. And it is, for all the honey that is used in this stuff, it is not as sweet as you think, but also very sweet. I love Medovic so much. It is one of my favorite cakes to eat, but it's also like super difficult to make. Maybe not difficult, but like super time consuming. So those my 2: Portuguese egg tart or actually like the Macau version, whatever, potat. And then Medovic and oh God, what is my third one going to be? I'm gonna have to also say croissant.
Croissant. And what kind of croissant? Like
what kind of croissant?
A chocolate croissant, almond croissant.
No, I think
butter croissant.
Oh, it's gonna be between an almond, like a really good almond croissant is damn good with like the creamer inside, but I already have 2 sweets. I have 2 things that are really sweet already, so I'm probably just going to go.
I mean, it's okay. You don't have to eat all 3 at the same time. You're just picking your 3 favorite.
I mean, does like a croissant sandwich count though? Because like a jamon.
I mean, I don't think there's any strict rules on like what you can pick. You know, except for this like tool that you decide to put us in. Of our pastries have to be sweet, and yet now you won't choose something because it's too sweet.
I didn't say sweet. They just couldn't be bread. It's just not bread. Bread is its own thing. Bread is not pastry. Bread is bread. You can say sourdough, but you can say like hot dog bun.
So hot dog bun is considered a pastry?
Well, I'm talking about like the Hong Kong ones where it's like a little loaf of like little loaf of a butter brioche with a hot dog stuck in it. That's like a hot dog, but not the actual just like bun for the hot dog. That's bread.
Thank you for redefining what pastry means to us.
You know what? This is
hot dog
my
can be pastry, but heaven forbid if someone picks a sourdough loaf.
Listen. I'm gonna put my foot down on this.
I mean, I support you as a friend, you know, because I don't feel that passionate about like this fight either way.
Bread,
but it's interesting to see that how you want to put all pastries in a box.
I revere bread too much to like make it anything but its own thing. Bread is definitely its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now.
Anyways.
Oh my god. That reminds me of like this one clip. Did you ever watch like the interview that Azealia Banks did with these like radio like talk host?
Oh, which one? Which
the one where you're like, oh, you make music for the gays,
for
right?
Gay people.
Yes. And Azealia Banks is like, okay, so what now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what now? Silence.
That was a good question.
Yeah. All right, so the next,
I don't think we have much.
A few more questions.
Oh, they do?
Oh, just one more, actually.
Okay.
Desert island meals. The meals you could eat for the rest of your life and never get sick of.
I think we answered this one before.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure my answer was sushi.
All right. What about mercury poisoning?
I mean, I'm on a desert island.
Yeah?
I don't think I care. It's literally like for me, like if desert island meal is not about eating to survive, it's eating to enjoy. And like if I could only eat one thing and enjoy it all the way through for as long as I possibly can, I think it would be sushi because like I enjoy the fish, I enjoy the rice, and I enjoy the different varieties that come with that. But even like honestly, if you had to make me super, super precise and like stick to one thing, I could eat an ikura salmon don every day for every meal for a very long time before I got sick of it. I cannot imagine having too much of that.
You probably need to drink a lot of water to like get all the sodium out of your body.
Oh, for sure. I would be like a bloated, beached mess on this desert island. But like, if there was like only one thing that I could eat, yeah, I think it might be that. If you let me crack an egg on it every now and then, game over. I don't need to see another goddamn person for the rest of like my life.
And I think that's my meal. Eggs and rice, I will never get sick of.
Yeah.
I could eat for like, lunch, breakfast, or dinner. What if it's like scrambled egg and rice or like fried egg and rice, sunny side and egg and rice? Egg and rice is a flawless combo.
Yeah.
And if you want to switch it up, maybe add a little butter in there, maybe add a little soy sauce, maybe add sesame
or cook the
oil,
egg differently.
Maybe add seasoning sauce, maybe add chili oil. But eggs and rice would always beat a meal. You
have a really good egg sauce at your house. It's in that yellow bottle. I don't know what it's called.
It's literally called
like
a
sauce
soy
for
sauce
eggs?
that makes eggs taste better.
Yeah,
that's
it's so good.
Because it has the flavor of soy without the salty flavor.
It's a little bit sweet.
So you can good. You can put so much on, and it doesn't like the salt doesn't overwhelm like whatever.
Is it a Korean thing?
It's a Korean thing.
Ah, it's so good.
But it's literally called a soy sauce that makes your eggs taste better. It's so specific. All right. Should he do one more question, or should he save it for next week?
We should save it for next week because I think we're over an hour at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will answer more listener questions next week, but don't let us deter you from submitting more questions because we will answer them all.
Oh, and also I changed our Instagram account from like creator to business, so I think people can ask more than one or send us more than 3 messages now.
Oh, they could only send 3 messages to us before?
Apparently that was a thing. People were limited to how many messages they could send us.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that either. So I switched it to a business account. I don't know if that changes anything. Mm-hmm. If anybody listening works for Instagram and can explain it to us, because like we're both.
There's always some new rules.
There's always some new rules. We're 2 like millennials who just don't know how things work anymore.
I'm all gray.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for tuning in. If you like what you heard, like, subscribe, share, but you probably won't share because you're a hater. Just kidding. Follow us on our Instagram at 1for the table. That's number 1 for the table. Thank you, and my name was Kimchi.
And I'm John Kung.
See you next week.
We've never done an outro like that before.
Why not? We always keep it fresh and new.
Oh, we do. Hey, bye.